another Amazon Studios project that is being put into the works, and this one's shepherded by Ted Hope, is a project called Barbarian Days, a film from a filmmaker that sort of had a great launch pad with him being the scribe for Traffic. Let's talk about this project. Let's get into the book on which the film will be adapted from, and also let's look back at this filmmaker and sort of more or less his picks and choices for the past 2 decades.
So yeah, I mean, Stephen Gaggins made his career as a writer. Well, that's how he got noticed, particularly with Traffic, and of course Syriana, his feature debut. He tends to gravitate towards true stories. So his 2016 film Gold was also based on a true story. Unfortunately, it wasn't the award season film people thought it would be. And then of course he directed Doolittle, which was a disaster by all accounts. So I'm actually a bit surprised to see that he's rebounded so quickly. But this film certainly plays to his strengths. It's another true story. It's another colorful character. It's about a surfer and war reporter who, the book's based on his memoir, and he had a colorful life. He went to a tough high school in Honolulu. He traveled the world, did acid, did all these crazy things. So it sounds like the kind of film that's right in his wheelhouse. It sounds like another potentially strong role for a male lead, and the sort of globe-trotting kind of adventure he loves to get his hands dirty with.
You're absolutely right on that. Syriana and Gold certainly had those elements of worldly aspects and sort of like divulging information that is normally kept from the public. I like those politicized texts. Here, the perimeters feel as if we fall into something that might be more philosophical, and it's also a project that I get a sense that it's going to span the decades, and perhaps it's going to be a look back. You named Gold, and the first thing that came to mind is I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew McConaughey somehow gets attached to this project, seeing that I've seen a couple of surfer pics of this guy, and essentially this is a writer who had his philosophical approach includes this sport outside the sport. So yeah, I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of backdrops, and it's going to posit in different aspects of this person's personal timeline.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's gonna. I mean, it's a story that spans decades, really. So it's going to touch on a lot of different moments in time, and really give, again, like an actor, whether it's McConaughey or someone else, something to really live with and feel through. So so let's hope it's Stephen Gaghan finally getting back to the place where he's comfortable, because I don't think Doolittle was the place where he was set to make the most impact.
Well, he might be a family man, and sometimes you take one for not the team, but the family. And it's certainly Doolittle perhaps meant something to him. So we'll give him a pass on that. But yeah, this project based on William Finnegan's life story could be something that we see in the distant 2022 schedule.
I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com, and this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are IndieSponge.